The 3 episodes of the January 6th series have proven to be quite captivating. It was revealed that those in Trump's circle were unconvinced by his false claims of an election theft. Trump managed to amass a staggering $250 million from his supporters. And it appears that his insistence on winning the election can be attributed to an intoxicated Rudy Giuliani. According to Nielsen, no less than 20 million individuals tuned in to witness the inaugural night of the January 6th hearings. To put it into perspective, that's comparable to the viewership of major televised events such as a Sunday night football game. Unsurprisingly, Fox News made the decision not to broadcast the hearings, going as far as to forego commercial breaks during the first night. Just imagine if Sean Hannity had aired the hearing, only to be confronted with the reality of no more conspiracy theorists and no more discussions of a stolen election. The prospects of impeachment and the invocation of the 25th Amendment would have become undeniable realities. It has come to light that Fox News hosts Brian Kilmeade, Laura Ingraham, and Sean Hannity were in communication. Although I should clarify that it was through text messages, not sexting. They were reaching out to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, urging Trump to take action on January 6th. Consequently, it's understandable why they wouldn't want their viewers to witness the hearings. Doing so would mean exposing them to the truth, which is a rarity. Speaking of truth, Trump was informed by his closest confidants and advisors that he had indeed lost the election. Personally, I made it abundantly clear that I disagreed with the notion of claiming a stolen election and spreading misinformation, which I directly conveyed to the president. Even Trump's own daughter, Ivanka, recognized that he had lost. I hold Attorney General Barr in high regard, and I respected his statements. I must commend Liz Cheney and the committee for their unwavering commitment to truth. Hearing your daughter publicly affirm that you're a loser in front of millions is undoubtedly a deeply cutting experience. Despite countless individuals informing Trump of his defeat, there was one person he could rely on to contradict them. A certain intoxicated Rudy Giuliani, or simply Rudy Giuliani. It appears that everyone except Rudy Giuliani himself, Justless, a former campaign advisor, and a man attempting to imitate Bain, Jason Miller, was aware of Rudy's intoxication on election night. I'm curious, Mary Giuliani, could you provide further details about your observations regarding his potential state of inebriation during the discussion about the president's address to the nation on election night? Undoubtedly, Mayor Giuliani was visibly intoxicated. Rudy has a knack for embarrassing himself without anyone's assistance. This is the same individual who was caught tucking his shirt into his pants in the movie Borat 2, had hair dye melting down his face on live television, booked an event at Four Seasons Landscaping, accidentally farted during a press conference, participated in The Masked Singer, and even married his second cousin. He entered into matrimony with his second cousin. This individual was the one who encouraged Trump to hastily declare victory on the night of the election. Despite Trump's former campaign manager, Bill Stephen, advising against premature declarations of victory, Trump disregarded him and instead heeded the counsel of Rudy, who fueled Trump's paranoia and pushed him to make baseless allegations of ballot harvesting, voting machine tampering, and more. It was these false claims that enabled the Trump campaign to amass a staggering $250 million from its supporters. The campaign inundated supporters with countless fundraising emails, asserting that the election was being undermined by a left-wing mob and urging them to take action. These emails proved to be more vexatious than those infamous chain emails promising bad luck. I received information from my Aunt Cheryl, and I apologize for any confusion, Anne. Cheryl explained that Trump had assured his supporters that the funds would go towards an election defense fund. However, a committee investigator found no evidence of the existence of such a fund. Instead, the majority of the money was directed to groups supporting Trump rather than funding legal battles. The January 6th committee refers to this as the big ripoff, but I personally believe that a more fitting term for this fraudulent activity would be the big grift. Moving on to the events of day 3, it started slowly. Setting aside any humorous remarks, I would like to express my gratitude to Judge Luttig. In the lead-up to January 6th, Trump exerted both public and private pressure on Pence, urging him to reverse. During the 2020 election, Trump employed his lawyer, John Eastman, to pressure Pence. Eastman proposed a theory that Pence could either outright reject electoral votes or refer them back to the state legislators for further examination. However, there was no legal, constitutional, or historical basis for this plan. Despite knowing its illegality, Eastman publicly claimed it was legal. Pence repeatedly informed Trump that he lacked the constitutional authority to fulfill his desires. Nevertheless, Trump refused to accept Pence's response and even threatened to end their friendship if Pence didn't overturn the election results. Trump's behavior resembled that of a 6-year-old mob boss on a playground, issuing threats about who can attend his birthday party. Consequently, when Pence informed Trump on January 6th that he would not reject the votes or delay the certification, Trump insulted Pence, calling him a wimp and using derogatory language. Trump's supporters clearly picked up on his anger and disappointment towards Pence during his January 6th speech, with Trump even making a disturbing statement about dragging someone through the streets if Pence had attended. The threat to Pence was genuine, as the mob came within approximately 40 feet of the vice president. A confidential informant from the Proud Boys informed the FBI that if they had found Pence, they likely would have harmed or even killed him. One can only imagine what must have been going through Mike Pence's mind during these intense moments. However, even in the aftermath of the Capitol incident, Eastman remained persistent in his efforts to overturn the election. He reached out to former White House lawyer Eric Hirschman to discuss the matter. In response, Hirschman expressed disbelief and exclaimed, "Are you out of your mind?" He emphasized that he only wanted to hear 2 words from Eastman going forward: orderly transition. The individual who was shouting at Eastman made it clear that they didn't want to hear any other words from him except for orderly transition. After some persistence, Eastman finally repeated those words as requested. At that point, the person responded, stating that they would give Eastman the best free legal advice he would ever receive to obtain an excellent criminal defense lawyer because he would soon be needing one. Following this, Eastman sent an email to Rudy Giuliani, expressing his desire to be included on the pardon list if it was still being considered. It is evident that anyone seeking a pardon has likely committed some wrongdoing. Thus far, the initial 3 hearings have affirmed that Trump was aware his claims of a rigged election were unfounded, yet he continued to propagate them regardless. And his relentless behavior continues, as he currently engages in furious social media posts about the January 6th hearings on his platform, Truth Social. He is demanding equal time for his views